Hey guys, I just got married, so can you give me a round of applause? Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, I'm not really married, technically. I mean, my husband is a figment of my imagination, but at least I'm not single. Okay. Anyway, my imaginary husband told me I should get some therapy. Yeah. So I found someone on Groupon. She offered emotional realignment and light spiritual sarcasm. Sarcasm. Yeah. And after the first discounted session, she charged me for the full year. And I stayed because apparently walking away from therapy is also one of my attachment wounds. I don't know if my therapist gives a damn about me anymore. I'm starting to feel like I'm the punchline in a group chat I don't know about. When I walk in, she doesn't say hi. She just shakes her head like I've spiritually disappointed her. Then she mutters to herself, still alive? Impressive. And then she writes it down like it's a plot twist. She says, so what's on your mind today? I open my mouth and she interrupts me. Let's try not to cry in the first 5 minutes this time, she says. I say, it's been a rough week. I honestly thought I was going to die this time. She doesn't even blink. She goes, and you didn't. Another thing you failed at. Then she starts scribbling like she's playing hangman. I ask what she's writing. She says your obituary, just in case. Then I start to cry as usual. I tell her my ex texted me at 2 a.m. She says, let me guess, you drove 2 hours to his place. I say, no, I walked. I didn't have cab money. She nods in approval, like that's personal growth. And then her phone buzzes mid breakdown. She answers it and says, yeah, she's here again with the same story, just better eyebrows. Then she turns to me and says, that was my sister. She's a psychic. She says you're going to ignore all my advice and get ghosted again by Friday. And like an idiot, I thanked her. I tell you, last week she accidentally texted me a meme. It was a clown putting on makeup. The caption said, me every time I say I'm done with him. I called her out on it. She said, that wasn't meant for you. That was for another client. Then she sent me the same meme again, but this time she accidentally added me to a group chat called Clown Parade Weekly Check ins. I was the only one in the group chat. I say, I feel like people don't really listen to me. She nods and says, what did you say? Like a fool, I keep going back to her. Because honestly, it's the healthiest toxic relationship I've ever had. She's never ghosted me. Well, only once. Then she texted me at 2 a.m. and said, my car payment's due. Can you schedule a session? Cash only. I once asked her for a leave of absence letter for work. She said, sure. I got the time off. But when I returned to work, everyone was acting strange. I told her about it in our next session. She said, don't worry about it. I just wrote that you were in an outpatient program for reoccurring romantic delusions and serial clown behavior. I had to make it sound medical. Look, I don't want to leave my therapist. She's not all bad. She said, believe in yourself because clearly no one else will. And I was like, damn, she really sees me. No respect.